Delta Force is one of America's most secretive special forces. It was created in the late 1970s, when the U.S. realized it needed a unit built only for counterterrorism and hostage rescue. Officially, it's called the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta. But everyone just says, Delta. Their main jobs are stopping terrorists, rescuing hostages, and taking down high-value targets. The unit was inspired by Britain's SAS, and the selection process is brutal. Even elite soldiers from the Green Berets or Rangers usually fail. They're tested on endurance, intelligence, and staying calm under extreme stress. Over the years, Delta has carried out missions across the world, from attempts to rescue hostages in Iran in 1980 to hunting terrorist leaders in the Middle East. Most of their work is still classified, but one thing is clear. When Delta is deployed, the mission is critical. The SAS, or Special Air Service, is one of the most famous special forces in the world. It was born during World War II, when small groups of soldiers carried out daring raids behind enemy lines in North Africa. Their motto is short and powerful: "Who dares wins." And that pretty much sums them up. They take on missions no one else can handle. The SAS became legendary in 1980 during the Iranian embassy siege in London. In front of live TV cameras, black-clad soldiers stormed the building, rescued the hostages, and killed the terrorists. That single operation turned the SAS into a global symbol of counter-terrorism. Today, the unit is still at the center of Britain's fight against terror. They train constantly for hostage rescues, covert missions, and high-risk raids, and their methods have inspired many other units, including America's Delta Force. SEAL Team 6, officially known as DevGRU, is the Navy's most elite counterterrorism unit. It was created in the 1980s after a failed rescue mission in Iran showed the U.S. needed a specialized team for hostage crises. The SEALs are famous for operating on sea, air, and land. But Team 6 takes it to another level. Their training is brutal, and only the best of the best make it in. The world really learned their name in 2011, when SEAL Team 6 carried out the mission that killed Osama bin Laden. It was one of the most high-profile operations in modern history, and it showed just how precise and deadly they can be. Today, DevGRU still works in complete secrecy. Most of their missions are classified, but whenever you hear about a quiet U.S. operation, chances are SEAL Team 6 was involved. GIGN is France's elite counterterrorism and hostage rescue unit. It was created in the 1970s after a wave of terrorist attacks showed the country needed a highly trained response force. From the start, GIGN became famous for extreme precision and bravery. One of their most legendary missions was in 1994, when terrorists hijacked an Air France plane. GIGN stormed the aircraft in Marseille, killed the attackers, and saved nearly 200 passengers. Their motto is, "To save lives, no matter the cost." And they live by it, whether storming planes, trains, or buildings. Today, GIGN continues to be one of the most respected counter-terror units in the world. They specialize in hostage rescues, high-risk arrests, and anti-terror operations across France and beyond. GSG-9 is Germany's famous counter-terrorism unit. It was born after the tragedy at the 1972 Munich Olympics, when terrorists killed Israeli athletes and police were unprepared. Germany realized it needed a professional force ready for hostage situations. Just a few years later, in 1977, GSG-9 proved its worth. Terrorists hijacked a Lufthansa plane with more than 80 passengers on board. In Mogadishu, Somalia, GSG-9 stormed the plane in a lightning-fast assault, killing the hijackers and rescuing everyone alive. That mission made them world famous. Since then, GSG-9 has built a reputation for discipline and precision. They handle hijackings, hostage crises, and dangerous raids, both in Germany and abroad. Quiet, efficient, and deadly when needed. GSG-9 is still one of the most respected counter-terror forces in Europe. Alpha Group is Russia's most famous counterterrorism unit. It was created in the 1970s by the KGB at the height of the Cold War to deal with hijackings, hostage situations, and international terror. For decades, Alpha was seen as one of the most elite units in the world. But its reputation is mixed. Some of its operations were fast and effective, while others ended in tragedy. The most infamous examples are the Moscow theater siege in 2002 and the Beslan school crisis in 2004. Both times Alpha stormed the buildings, but the heavy use of force led to hundreds of civilian deaths. Today, Alpha still serves as Russia's top counter-terror team, but critics say it represents the old Soviet approach: overwhelming power, even at the cost of innocent lives. It's a name that inspires both fear and controversy. Yamam is Israel's top counterterrorism and hostage rescue unit. It's part of the Israeli police, but it operates like a military special forces team. What makes Yamam unique is its speed. Terror attacks in Israel can erupt suddenly, in crowded cities. Yamam is trained to respond within minutes, storming buses, houses, or even city streets to save lives. They're also masters of precision shooting and undercover work. Many times, Yamam has stopped terrorists before they could even strike. Because Israel faces constant threats, Yamam gets real combat experience more often than most units in the world. That's why it's considered one of the most battle-tested and effective counter-terror units anywhere. The NSG, known as the Black Cats, is India's elite counter-terrorism force. It was created in the 1980s after a series of deadly attacks showed India needed a specialized unit. Their most famous mission came in 2008 during the Mumbai terror attacks. Black Cats fought through hotels and train stations for days, rescuing hostages and eliminating the attackers. The world watched as they moved with discipline and determination. The unit's nickname comes from their all-black uniforms and masks, which make them instantly recognizable. They specialize in hostage rescues, bomb disposal, and high-risk counter-terror raids across the country. Today, the Black Cats remain India's sharpest weapon against terrorism, trained, fearless, and ready for the next crisis. GEO, or the Grupo Especial de Operaciones, is Spain's elite counter-terrorism unit. It was formed in the 1970s, during a time when Europe faced frequent terror attacks. Their main mission is hostage rescue and high-risk arrests. GEO became especially known for its fight against the Basque separatist group ETA, which carried out bombings and kidnappings for decades. In these operations, GEO earned a reputation for discipline and precision. The unit is also trained for international missions. Spanish operators have worked abroad to protect diplomats, secure embassies, and assist in joint anti-terror operations with NATO allies. Today, GEO is one of Europe's respected counter-terror forces, small, secretive, and highly effective when called into action. Ukraine's Alpha Group is the elite counter-terrorism unit of the Security Service of Ukraine, the SBU. It was created after independence in the 1990s, modeled in part on Western special forces. For years, Alpha handled hostage rescues, high-risk arrests, and anti-terror operations inside Ukraine. But since 2014, after Russia's aggression began, the unit shifted into a new role, fighting enemy sabotage groups and defending against hybrid warfare. Since 2022, Alpha has become battle-tested on a scale no one imagined. They carry out raids against Russian forces, capture high-value targets, and protect Ukraine's leadership from assassination attempts. Unlike many units that only train for scenarios, Alpha has been operating non-stop in real war. Today, it is not only Ukraine's shield against terrorism, but also a frontline force against one of the most dangerous armies in the world. In the end, these counter-terrorism units are the world's sharpest edge against chaos. They train for missions where every second counts, and where failure is not an option. Subscribe if you want to discover more about the hidden forces shaping global security.